Hi there, my lovely crafty friends. This is Grace and welcome to another video. This is going to be my September-October homemade kill kit video and layout share. So first of all, I wanted to show you all the items that are left from the homemade kit that I had put together back in September. If you're interested in what I did put in this kit, I will make sure to put the link on the details in the description box below. So I did not really have a lot of papers in this layout, and the one thing that I did notice was from previous layouts I was craving more paper. So as you can see, I don't, and I'm going to show you the papers that are still left, but I didn't really touch a lot of the embellishments. So I think when we make these homemade kits and then we kind of do them consistently, I would say like 3 to 6 months in a row, you can kind of see, this is my experience anyways, you can kind of see what kind of products you really go towards. And for me, it's paper. So that is kind of a learning experience for me that I am definitely going to be taking into consideration the next time I make my kit. So with that being said, here are the items that are left over. So I had a full kit or a full pack of these wood veneers from Chic Tags, and I used a few of them. The ones that I did use were the ones that were not seasonal themed, like the spring ones. I didn't have spring pictures, so I never got to use any of that, but I did use some of these ones that says happiness found and goodness, I think was the one that I used. I didn't use any of the frames. This is a frame that broke off into, and so I'm just going to be putting this back in my stash and hopefully next time be able to use them. I did use a lot of this big enamel dots. I think I used up all of the red ones, and these are the ones that are left, and I'm just going to be, oops, sorry, I'm going to put that back in my stash, either in my stash or I'm going to put it in my pocket letter kind of stash where I grab the items that I want to the goodies that I want to put in my pocket letters. And then here are the rhinestones or the gems from the Doodlebug pack. So as you can see, I use a lot more of this color than the red, so I'm just going to put that back in my stash as well. I never got to use this cork. This was meant to be. I didn't have a picture or a story that would work really well, so again, this is just going to go back in my stash. I tried many times to add this feather to layouts, but it just, I don't know, it didn't work for me. So it's going to go back in my stash or pocket letter goodie, of course. And then I have these two chipboards. One that says hi. I believe this is from a Project Life pack by Heidi Swapp. And then this one's a My Mind's Eye. Didn't get to use them. And then this is another Heidi Swapp Polaroid. It was too big. Another thing I noticed was my goal is to be able to do a lot of stories or document a lot of stories. So that means I'm doing a lot of activities, a lot of holidays, things that I have a lot of pictures with, basically. And so having elements like these that are super huge, I am not able to fit this in along with like 5 or 6 pictures or even 4. So I'm going to take that into consideration when I put together my October kit, making sure that the items that I put will match the pictures that in my head that I'm going to scrapbook. I know that's a lot of thinking involved, so maybe you're not that kind of person that would think ahead of time, but for me, I feel like, especially lately there's so many things that is taking up my time, I need to be efficient when I'm scrapbooking. I hope that somebody's saying amen to that, because I hope I'm not the only one that feels that. Anyways, so being efficient means that I'm kind of thinking my process through even before I start scrapbooking. I don't know if that makes sense to you. So making my kit and then analyzing what's left when I do get done with a kit helps me to be efficient. So there it is. That's a kind of a long answer to that. I did manage to use up some of those Project Life 4x6 cards that I pulled out. This one I just punched out a piece of paper or a piece of a circle from that paper, and I figured I'm just going to keep this because I can cover that up. So I'm just going to put that in my stash, maybe as scraps. And then these are some of the things that I never got to use up. Just going back to my stash. Die cuts, I didn't really use them. I don't know if it's because they just didn't match the theme or the story that I'm trying to document, or they just didn't work for me this month. I'm not sure, but they're just going to go back in my stash. No worries to that. One of the things that I really wanted to do when I make homemade scrapbook kits is to use up the stuff that I've been hoarding, and then at the same time that it's kind of getting old. So this is one of those things for me that fell into that category, and I did use up a lot of this, although I didn't use it all up, but I'm still happy that I'm able to use it up. And I actually, because it was a whole sheet, and I cut this up so that it won't take up too much space back when I put it back on my sticker drawer or my shelf. And then this old school pink paisley, I did manage to use up all of the letters, all the alphabets, and I'm going to show you how I used it up. And then I have just some leftovers of the numbers. I was thinking maybe I can do like a birthday card with this, but I just ran out of inspiration for that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this up and then put this back in my stash, or maybe put it in my children's stash so that they can use the numbers for whatever they want. And then I'm just going to throw the rest away. This is the letter stickers that I got from Target, and I did use up a lot of the letters here, but there's still some, as you can see, so I'm just going to put that back in my stash. I didn't show you the leftover of the other alphabets that I did use, or I did pull out for this kit, and I didn't use up a lot of them, so they just went back to my alphabet stash. This is the SCI Korean sticker sheet, and as you can see, this one is all used up. So woohoo, I feel so accomplished. So I can throw this away, and then this one has some letters in there, so I can just put this in my alphabet stash. And then there's a couple of some stickers there that I can use up. Again, I wanted to use it all up and was thinking that I can make tons of cards, but like I said earlier, I ran out of inspiration, so I'm just gonna call this good. One thing I didn't use up at all is this SCI, yes, it is SCI die cut sheet. I didn't know what to do with them. I've always, because I have a few of these, and what I've done was I've just layered it on top of my foundation cardstock, or maybe cut it up and use it as a layering piece on the back of pictures. But I felt like I've done that before and I don't want to do it again, so I never touched it. So if you have any ideas of what you can do to use up an item when you don't want to do the same things that you've done with it before. If you have an idea for that, just leave me a comment, and I would love to hear your suggestions so I can use this up. Okay, and then the papers. So out of all the papers that I got, these are all that's what's left over, and I'm super happy about that because this is going to go in my scrap pile. And yes, so super happy that I got my papers whittled down to some degree. Of course, it will never be like super small because I keep on buying papers. But like I said earlier, the light bulb that hit me this month was that I use up a lot of papers. So that is really good when I'm going to be putting together my other homemade kits. So I'm going to put this aside, and I'm going to share with you the layouts or the projects that I did manage to make with this kit. And I think I made 8 pages, 2 cards, and a pocket letter. Woot woot. Okay, so the first page that I made was an 8.5 by 11. I used up the yellow paper, I think this is Cosmo Cricket, and then I just layered up some other pattern papers, and my title was Right Now. Okay, so this was the only layout that I used these, I think this one's jelly bean soup paper. And I mean jelly bean letter chipboard letters. So I think this is the only layout that I use this. You know why? Because for some reason the adhesive on the back of these weren't really good anymore. Like I put this on and then maybe like a week later, I had to come back and actually add some liquid adhesive just so it will stick. And I don't like that. I mean, if it already has back adhesive, why do I have to put more adhesive on there? So that was kind of my little fib on that. But I mean, yeah, a little complain. But other than that, I did do a lot of handwritten journaling with all my layouts. This one is just a basic what I was loving at this time. This was December 2010. And then I did add those puffy stickers with the border and just some embellishments. Oh, by the way, this was from a sticker sheet, and I think there was a few more left in there, but I used up that sticker sheet. So that was fun as well. Okay, the second one, actually that wasn't the second one. This one was the second one. Why are my pages upside down? I don't know. Okay, so this one is just a memory or a story. Like I said earlier, I like to, that's my goal right now, is to just document the stories, not mainly like, you know, oh, I have a great picture and I'm going to scrapbook that. It's more like I have a lot of activities that's backed up, and so I need to just scrapbook them. So that is what I've been doing. And with this, I had 4 pictures, and then I just layered a lot of papers. I used up some of those embellishments, the layered embellishments. This one is actually part of, this one was a 3x4 project life card that I cut out the kind of triangle that says the good times, and then I slipped my page just so that I can still see the word, but I could still slip the, you know, the picture and it would still look cohesive. And I did add some of these wood veneers and then some of those enamel dots. I did use up a lot of those Dear Lizzie, what is it called? Perforated embellishments. So happy about that. This one's another layout. This one is based off of a sketch, and actually the sketch was, well, when I put all my papers, all my pictures, I mean, in papers, it didn't look anything like the sketch because I think it was just too busy. So this for me is busy, but I hope that I'm still able to give it justice and focus on the pictures and the story, but there's a lot of layering here, and so I'm not sure if I'm, and the fact that I didn't have enough room for titles, so I just did happy and hungry as my title. So I don't know if this really worked, but it's done. An event is done, and so I'm happy about that. This is where I used up all of those letter stickers that I was telling you about. This is for a challenge, and the challenge was to make your own background paper with white cardstock. And so what I did was I kind of just sprinkled the letters on the top and the bottom. And then this is an 8.5 by 11, and then there's my pictures, layering of some more papers, and my journaling. I did add a pen line all around to ground my page because I like to do that. I had another picture that I punched out and put a scallop paper on the back so that it will stand out a little bit more. Added a chipboard button here with some twine. And the title is Hello Lovely. There's so many words in here and letters. I don't know if that even comes out that that's the title, but that's what it is. And then I also added some shimmer of Glimmer Mist. Next one, this is also based off of a sketch, and this is more of a perfect layout to make during the fall. These pictures are from 2013, and I used my washi to create kind of a triangle to go towards the pictures. There's a lot of layering in the back of it. I did use up my notebook punch right there, and then I added some stickers to add my journaling, and these stickers are from that SCI sticker sheet pack. Page number, I think number 5 or something. This one had a lot of scraps of paper, like this paper right here. This is actually part of a 3x4 pocket page paper. There's too many P's in there, but I cut it up and added some notches, and I actually cut it in half so that it will look like a very long piece, but it actually isn't. It was like a size of a 3x4. And so I added all my pictures. I did add the border, added some more of those wood veneers. And this actually, I believe I have a process video for this. So make sure you look that up in my channel. This one also has a process video, and I used up a lot of those Dear Lizzie perforated accent blocks. I don't know what they're called. And I also use some 3x4 pocket page or project life cards. There you go. I did add some corrugated stars, and this is I think this is the only time that I did use my chipboard basic gray letter stickers. But I might be, no, that's not true. I did one just before this. I forgot. Okay, so there it is. And then here is my one and only double page spread for the month, and I believe this one has a process video as well. So this one are pictures of a museum that we went to locally, and so I added a bunch of those project life and cut apart pieces and used up a lot of scraps. This one wasn't initially in my homemade kit, but this was new to me, and I needed some more accents on the corners because the white paper just seemed like it was kind of boring. And so this is just a stencil from clear scraps that I used my I forgot what color ink it is. It's a greenish, and I believe it's from Chukineko. I think that's what it's called, the ones that make stays on. So yeah, that is my page for that. And like I said, I used a lot of handwritten journaling for a lot of my pages. So here is the other extras that I made. I was able to produce 2 cards with it. Let's see if I can close up. So here is one, and this is actually like, it didn't even have, the only thing that it had from my original homemade kit was this Make-A-Wish paper, which is a cut apart from an Echo Park 12x12 paper, and then the cardstock. But of course the glittered, oh, I guess the rhinestones. The glittered cardstock was from my scratch, and also the photo corners were also from my scraps or stash. So that's one. And then the second one is this happy birthday card. I did use up this paper, which was in my original homemade kit, as well as the cardstocks and the letters and the twine. So all of this is from my homemade kit. And then I made a pocket letter. So this is going to be for a swap that I'm doing for die cuts, I think. I sign up for a lot of swaps. So I just used up, as you can see, a lot of my scraps went in here, and so is those, so are those 3x4 Project Life cards. These are both the Gossamer Blue Project, oh, and this one too is a Gossamer Project Life card. This is paper that I cut up in 3s, and so are these from the Chamel line. And then I used up more of the stickers. This one's from a tab from the Ellie Studios. This bunny right here is a punched out from the Dear Lizzie perforated pack, embellishment pack, and then I just added my own washies for samples stuff, and then some rhinestone, and I did add a few more items in there in the back. And then I have this little pocket with more of those perforated embellishments that didn't fit the pockets. So this is also another great way of using up your stash, is once you're done with your homemade kit like I did, I don't want to put all these things back in my stash, because if I haven't really used this for 6 months, I doubt that I am going to use them, especially since they're not in the booklet anymore. So I figured I'm just going to give it to somebody else, and maybe they will have a better they will be able to use it up. So that is my projects for September/October. I hope to do my homemade kit for October, November sometime soon. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, if you have enjoyed these videos, please give me a thumbs up, as well as hit subscribe so you can get to see the newest video once it's uploaded. So thank you guys, and have a great day. Bye.